by maybe close to dinner time.
No, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I've been sharing the goods with the neighborhood. I took a half look to went to Nancy Butler, and they weren't home.
Oh.
So I walked down there. So I was walking home, and I went into a lane. So I gave it the lane.
Oh.
Like, what is this?
Good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. Does the slideshow show up on the screen there?
I'm seeing it now. Yeah.
It does. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I don't have enough discipline to do it at home.
No?
No. I would end up cleaning my room, all sorts of other stuff. So.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things.
You had a good group on yesterday. I think you had 12 to 13. It kept bouncing around. And then
I'm glad I didn't go down. I literally thought I was going to pass out like 3 times yesterday.
Yeah, that's what Brittany said. It's not good.
It was the masks get too wet. I mean, I even switched masks halfway through, and I was still almost hyperventilating.
Appreciate the shout out during the mask intro there, though.
Yeah, you like that?
I did.
Both of them? Not just out. Both of them? Yeah. Yeah, right.
You're all set.
So,
What, donkey cakes?
yeah, I can't do it. I could do one of them.
Donkey kicks.
In my dreams.
Are we live, Jason? Just so you guys know, that means you're live. So if you want to be on camera, you are on. I forgot to send out a Facebook invite. I mean, I'm going to go live, but I never advertised it.
Yeah, that's right. I said, well, yeah, hopefully.
Oh, it's on. You should be able to find it.
I'll figure it out. I don't know.
And I can't even see the feed to tell them. This camera always moves. Good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing? It is on Facebook, but I don't have a screen to see it now. Happy Friday, everybody. Hopefully this stuff is burning off tomorrow for our 4th of July weekend. Stay safe, stay home. Welcome to Friday stretch class. Let's go ahead and begin. So we're on the hour. Pin those shoulders down. And let's take that ear to shoulder. Excellent. Let's turn our head left to right now. Now up and down. Wonderful. Hands out in front. Pull those wrists all the way back. Bring the arms into the body and hands all the way down, back and forth. Push and pull with those wrists. Teach class. Grill and chill. Hands together and make big circles. Yeah, I was going to say, that sounds pretty funny when you say it that way. Lynn just asked if I was going to smoke something for the 4th of July. She's referring to the fact that I just got a brand new pellet smoker for Father's Day and not to the legalization of substances in Washington State. Switch directions of those circles. Absolutely. Most likely, I'm going to smoke a pork shoulder for some pulled pork. Palms up. Bring those hands towards the face. Scoop through. Extend out. Scoop and extend. Good. Let's pull those shoulder blades all the way back and round them all the way out, back and forth. Good. Relax those arms down. And we're going to go high-low. Touch those fingers towards each other and back out. Try to keep a really straight posture. Don't fight to get those hands together by crunching down. Whatever those elbows will do, up and under. Stand up tall. I feel yesterday's Tabata today. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good. From here, let's take one shoulder, shrug it up towards that ear, roll that shoulder joint over, roll it all the way back and down. Up and over, back and down. Let's do one side at a time. We'll switch here in a second. Focus on that arm. Good. Let's switch to the other side. Up and over. Well, I wish I had like a little remote control for the camera, guys. You missed it. Right before we went live, there was a very beautifully large bald eagle circling the pond, who then proceeded to be chased away by a bunch of crows. It was just like yesterday, Sue, but it was around this pond instead of the larger one. It was really close, and it was really cool. Good. All right. From here, big circles with those arms. Huh? Yeah, Lynn's got some neighbors that actually have video recording of the bear knocking over their bird feeder and eating all the seed nuts. It's a black bear. Good, let's switch directions. Good. All right. From here, let's rotate through our thoracic zone of our ribs. Hold those hips still and turn those shoulders over your hips. So twisting right at your rib cage. Yeah, I feel a lot in my abs today. Good. Now let's make hip circles.
You got any red tomatoes yet?
No red, but I've got about 25 tomatoes on the plant, getting big and healthy. Our green pepper seeds sprouted, so we actually have green peppers now too that we weren't sure were going to sprout. Switch? No, pack, seed pack from Bill's store. Good. All right, guys. Hopefully you have yourself a belt, a strap, a towel, something you can hold on to. I'll kind of talk for a couple seconds if you run into the bedroom to grab something. But we're going to need something. Kitchen towel works. That's going to give you just a little bit of resistance that you can hold just outside of your shoulder width. If you have shoulder issues, go even wider than that. It's okay to go pretty wide on this. If your shoulders are healthy and they're used to moving a little bit better, then grab a little bit more narrow, but still outside of that shoulder. And we're going to take those arms with them locked out up over our head and bring them back as far as they can go while they stay straight. Don't bend. Stay straight and bring it back forward. Good. Stop at the top at this one. And then I want you to just lean. And as you lean, take the high hand and press it up, up, up as you're leaning and come back. Lean the other way and press up as you're leaning. That should help open up your rib cage and stretch into those muscles of the lat and the intercostals. Notice I'm keeping my hips still. I'm not collapsing over my body. I'm going to keep those hips still, and I'm more worried about stretching up through my ribs. A couple more. Good. From here, bring one strap behind your head. Go and let go. Thumb up, slide that hand in, and re-grab your strap. And then use that low hand to pull down like you're trying to straighten that arm out and get that upper arm to tuck up back by your head. If you are joining us from Trilogy at Tahale, I warn you, my recently permitted son will be out driving in a little while. So you might want to stay off the streets for your safety. That's walking or driving. Good, let's bring that upper arm up nice and high so you can tuck that lower arm up under your shoulder blades. Then you can take this high arm and bring it over and let it rest while we stretch the lower arm. His mom's car with his mom. Pretty sure he actually won't be on the road today. I think he's still practicing parking lot, so. Good. From here, we're going to bring that high hand back up, and then there's just move through that range of motion again, just like you're drying your back with a towel. A few times to get a little dynamic in this stretch. Good. Now we're going to stop here back behind the head again. I'm going to release my low hand, and I'm going to switch it with the high hand. Grab low. And we're going to start with that pull down. We're going to pull down and tuck that upper arm up. Good. Take that high arm, pull the low arm up and under the shoulder blades, and relax that over. Pin it up and under. Good. Bring that high hand back up and up and down to that range of motion. Good. All right. We're going to release our strap. Use that strap now. We're going to grab behind our back. They can be together or just at hip width. Once you have a hold of that, I want you to take those shoulder blades and I want you to pull them back so your rib cage pops up and your chest lifts. And then you're going to punch those shoulders and arms down. From here, pull the arms away from the body. You should feel this across the top of your chest and the front of your shoulders if you're doing this right. If you didn't get your shoulders pulled back, you might have a little protraction going and feel this mostly in the joint and not through the chest. So we got to make sure that rib cage sits up high. Now from here, we're going to push those hips back behind us, letting our chest lower itself. And then we're going to take those arms and we're going to lift them up over our head. It's important to push those hips back so you're protecting your low back and you're not asking to bend over, supporting with those small muscles. Use your hips. Good. Hips back forward and bring that down. At this point, we're done with our strap. You can set it down, toss it to the side, put it in the laundry, hang it back on the towel rack, whatever you used. Right? And we're going to use our chair now. So I turn my chair sideways. We can also do this against a wall. So if you're at a place where you'd rather use the wall instead of the chair, that's fine too. But we're going to start just slightly out of reach. We're going to take the outside leg, the leg farthest away from the chair, my left leg, and I'm going to step around and down. Use your chair if you need to for balance and support. This is about the stretch and not any balance work. And again, we're going to push those hips backwards. I'll turn sideways so you can see. But we're going to push our hips back. Back, 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 back. So that weight goes through the heels. And if you're in this right, the back leg should be feeling the majority of this stretch. If you're flexible enough, you can use the floor. If not, use the wall or the chair. Good. Let's bring those hips back up underneath us. Keep those legs crossed. I'm going to turn back around to face you. Again, we should be just out of the reach of that chair or the wall, whether you're using your forearm or your hand. I want you to go ahead and lean out onto it. So hold yourself up with the chair. Straighten your spine by pushing those hips forward underneath you. And then I want you to sink the hip towards the chair. So you're actually trying to bend right here, right at the waist is what I'm trying to sink towards. And I'm putting weight into that area. So it's going to stretch along the muscles on top of the hip bone, the iliac crest, and down into your TFL. Good. We're going to push that hip back away. Still using that chair for some balance and support. I'm going to take my free hand and squat down a little bit. And the leg that's behind, I'm going to grab a hold, preferably with your shin. But if all you can get is your shoe or your heel cuff, you can grab that as well. And we're going to pull up into that quadricep stretch. Remember, the best benefit from static stretching, and static stretching is when we hold the stretch, we're not moving through it, is to really hold for a minimum of that 20 to 30 seconds. You can hold it longer, but you're really not going to get a really good benefit from a static stretch if you're just stretching for 5 seconds and letting go. So try to hold that stretch for that 20 to 30. We're going to release that foot now. We're going to bring it around to the front. Reach down. Just make sure you got some balance by holding on to that shin. I'll turn sideways so you can see again. I'm going to straighten my back, and I'm going to push my hips again back and away. So notice this plant leg on the ground is nice and straight. I've not loaded forward onto my knee. I'm sitting back into my hips. So the majority of my body weight is going back into that cross-legged hip, stretching into my piriformis. Good. Let's push those hips back underneath us and set that foot down. We're going to switch. We're going to move our chair to the other side. If you're on the wall, just flip around or move to the other side of the room. So remember, just close enough to give us that balance again. We just got buzzed. Outside leg, my right leg, away from the chair, steps over that foot and down. And pushing those hips backwards again to keep our back straight. Head down towards the floor. Remember, you do not need to be able to touch. What you want to do is just push those hips back into that stretch. Use the chair or the wall for balance if needed, or maybe a stool in front of you. Good, let's push those hips back underneath us. And again, make sure that chair is just out of reach, enough that I can actually lean onto it to support myself. Push those hips underneath you again so we're nice and straight, and then sink that hip in. And what I mean by that is don't let your hips go back behind you when you want to do this lean. Keep them tight and tucked. That lean shouldn't be that much range of motion. Those muscles and hip joints don't flex too much. So we want to keep them forward and get into that smaller muscle group for that stretch. Good. Go ahead and push that hip back away. Remember, we're going to take that free hand. We're going to squat down just a little bit so we can grab a hold of that foot, that ankle, that shin, and stand back up into that quadricep stretch. Oh, yeah. Good. Let's release that quad. Bring that foot around to the front, above the knee. Stabilize that leg, straighten that back, and push those hips back behind you. Good. Let's engage those hips back underneath us. And go ahead and put that foot down. All right, guys, we're going to flip those chairs around so they're facing us now. We want to be looking at the seat of our chair. We want to square up to it, so make sure those hips are square to your chair and pick a leg you're going to step up on. I'm going to start with my left leg. And when you step up, depending on your balance, your foot may have turned, your hip may have opened. We really want to stay closed off, so make sure that toe and hip are square to the chair. Sit up tall, straighten that spine. We're going to push our hips back and bring our chest forward. You can do things like brace on your leg, hands behind to work on your posture. What I don't want is for you to collapse down towards your leg. This isn't helping our stretch any. We want to line up through those hips, chest forward towards that foot. You should feel a nice line of tension right in the back of that hamstring. Now, while we're in this stretch, let's increase that line down. I want you to take that foot, you're going to pull it back towards you. Don't lean back. You got to stay forward as you pull the foot, and that should just add this really nice, luxurious, warm stretch, or otherwise known as, wow, that really hurts a lot. Yeah, we get tight through that Achilles line and down the back behind that knee, so this foot pull is going to add a whole another level to the stretch. No. You're completely hunched over, Carol. You're doing this. So that's going to put stress here. We want to be up tall so we're not putting stress on our low back while we're in the stretch. Good. Hips back underneath. For balance purposes, go and take that foot down. We're going to turn ourselves sideways. Same leg we were just working is facing the chair. We're going to put it back up in the exact same position. Toe pointing up. But now I'm completely sideways. My hips are completely open. Straighten that spine again. push those hips a little bit back again. And then we're going to lean towards the leg that's up in the chair. So again, when I lean, I'm not collapsing. I'm actually taking all of that from my hip and leaning all the way in. You should go right down the inside of our thigh. This is your adductor muscle group. Groin area, another way to call it, and think about it. And as long as your back is straight, don't be afraid. You can bring your chest a little farther forward as you lean, especially if you feel any impingement in your hip. But just don't collapse your spine. Never round, always straight. Straight puts our hips in alignment and allow all these stretches to hit a lot better. Good. We're going to sit back up, push the hips back underneath us. Take that foot back down. Turn back towards the chair one more time. Again, same leg. This time just step up and put that foot down. From here, if you have arms, you can use the arms of the chair. You can also lean forward and use the back of the chair. But I'm going to look down and make sure that back foot's really straight again. Don't let it turn in. That opens our hips. We're going to kick that foot out, and then we're going to drop our hips down towards the chair. So as my shoulders didn't leave where they were, my upper body stays where it's at. I'm just bringing my hips down underneath that. Even though we've been working this one leg up on the chair, this stretch should now be using the straight leg that's off the chair. You should feel this in your hip flexor. You want to sit up really tall and straight so that goes down that line. You can even imagine pushing your heel towards the ground. It does not have to touch the ground, nor should it. And if you really want to open that up, that same side, so my right leg's back, I'm going to pull my right arm up, up, up. So I open down that rib line into my psoas, into my hip flexor. Hi, Lynn. I do this stretch just so I can wave at you. One of these days, all these ladies are going to make themselves more famous yet and get on camera with me. We're a packed house today, and they're all hiding. I told them they had to talk, though, so that it didn't really look like I was crazy. Good. From here, grab a hold of, again, the back or the arms of your chair. We're going to pick our hips up, and we're going to push our hips back. Once those hips are sitting back, I want to take my upper body weight and bring it over that leg. So I'm really going to stretch out using that chair. Again, whether it's the back of the chair you're reaching out to or the arms of your chair, keep that weight over the leg. My foot is still relatively flat. The toe may hover a little bit, but I'm not on my heel. And notice, you can see my leg's not actually locked out. I'm trying to kind of lock it out, which keeps the stretch. Most of us are not going to be able to lock our leg out on this one, which is okay. We're still hitting that muscle group. Good. Let's bring those hips back underneath us so we can sit up and push ourselves off that chair. I'm going to turn mine just so I can keep facing the camera. But we're going to switch legs now. We're going to go through that whole series on the opposite leg. So I'm now going to use my right leg. Remember, hips squared to my target. Foot up, toe in the air. Straighten out that spine. Tilt those hips back behind. And bring that chest forward. Every once in a while you're in this stretch, check those hips. Make sure they didn't kind of open by turning them back in towards that foot that's up in the chair. All right, from this stretch, without moving or changing Pull that foot back towards you. Till unicorns and rainbows fly and cover the sky. Because that's how it feels. Magical. It's mind over matter. Good. Let's bring those hips back up. We're going to readjust. Turn the body sideways to the chair. Foot back in that same position. Toe pointing straight up. Straighten your back. Tilt the hips. Lean towards that leg. It's up in the chair. Good. Let's pick those hips back up underneath us. Step off. Turn back towards that chair. Step up onto the chair this time. Reaching forward to the arms, the back of the chair. Look back at that back foot. Make sure you've kicked that heel out. And then drop those hips down into the chair so you're upright. Think about those hips being tucked up and pushed up and under so you really snug into that hip flexor. And again, if you want that extra, reaching up tall on the same side of the leg that's on the ground. You can use both hands too if you want to extend up. You can even practice rotating slightly. Good. From this position, hands back on the arms of the back of the chair. Pick those hips up. Push them back behind till that hamstring gets tight. Slide your body weight forward. Good. Let's bring those hips back underneath us and set ourselves away. All right, guys. I'm going to turn my chair to face you because we're about to have a seat. So go ahead and grab a seat in your chair. We're going to start by getting a little bit more into our neck from our dynamics. So if your chair has arms and there's openings, I want you to try to reach down the inside of it. If it has no arms, just grab the bottom of your chair if you can. If you can't get through, obviously you might have to reach around. If you don't have something you can grab onto, we can do this same exact move by dropping our shoulder all the way down and kind of pushing our fingers towards the ground that way. We're creating a collapse of the shoulder girdle so we can open up the muscles of the neck. But if you can grab, we're going to grab. We're going to take that other arm and we're going to lean away from that grab. So what's happening is my body leans. It's going to pull my shoulder down into place, tighten that up there. And then I'm going to come over my head with my free arm, and I'm going to pull my ear down and away from that shoulder. Don't be afraid to slightly turn your chin up or down to see if there's a better spot in this stretch on your neck. Remember to keep your spine still upright even though we're leaning to the side. Don't collapse it forward or down. Good. I'm going to take a little pressure off my head and bring it back upright. Hit into that lean again, and I want you to turn and face that arm that's up. Now when I come and reach over, I want to grab the back of my head. And this time, instead of my ear, I'm going to pull my chin down towards my shoulder. Again, remember to stay postured through that spine. Do not collapse. Side bend is what we want, but collapse of the spine is not. Good. Let's bring ourselves back to upright. We're going to release the hand that was holding onto the chair and switch to the other side. Down and away. Lean away from the arm that's holding on until that shoulder gets pulled down tight. Then up over our head. And pull your head and ear down and away. Good. Relax the pressure on your head. Turn to face that upright arm. Lean away. Back of the head. Pull that chin down. Good. Let's bring ourselves back upright and down. Excellent. All right, guys. From here, right arm extended out. Swing that arm across our chest. Take the left arm, and I'm going to either use my hand or my forearm. I'm going to hook above my elbow, and I'm going to pull my arm into my chest. Then I want to check to make sure I'm not shrugging that shoulder up by my ear. Pull that shoulder down as you pull it across. So down and across. From here, I'm going to release the arm. I'm going to bring it up over my head till my palm is up. I'm going to bring that to the front. And I'm going to take my free hand. I'm going to grab all four of my fingers. And I'm going to pull them back. Stretching into my wrist and my forearm. Pull the whole hand and wrist back. Good. Relax that. Flip your hand over so the palm's down and let it hang. Now, I don't want you to grab your fingers. I want you to actually get the back of the hand itself. And you're going to take the back of the hand and you're going to pull it back now. Remember, working on that good posture while we're sitting in our chair. We're sitting up tall. We have a good straight spine. Keeping those shoulders down. Good. Release that. All right. I'm going to take my left arm out now, out and away. I'm going to bring it across my chest. I'm going to hook that elbow, pull it in. Make sure our shoulder's down. Good. From here, release that arm. Up and over, palms up. Bring it to the front. Grab those fingertips and pull them back. Good. Release those fingers. Flip the hand over. Let the hand hang. No fingers this time. Grab the back of that hand and pull it back. If I can still do it. Good. Go and relax that and bring that down. Let's slide forward on our chair. So we're sitting in on the edge, still upright and tall. I want you to take your right leg and I want you to cross it right at your knee. So I want ankle bone right over your knee. Hands on your shin. Sit up as tall as you can. Depending how tight you are, you may have to lean back to be tall. You may be able to sit forward and tall. We're going to use our hands to pull our chest through while keeping our back nice and straight. This is very much just like the stretch we already did when we were standing and we crossed our leg and we sat back. So remember, spine should be straight. Chest is coming through. You are not pulling yourself down into the leg. Up and through, up and through. Deep into that hip, the piriformis muscle. It's underneath your glute muscles. Good. Bring that back. I want you to take your shoulders, your whole upper torso, and I want you to turn towards the knee that's up. My right leg's up. I'm going to take my left leg, and I'm going to scoop under my knee, and I'm just going to grab a hold with the other hand, and I'm going to pull it up. Tucking it up into my body, and I'm going to keep turning towards that leg that I'm pulling up. So a little bit of a pull and a little bit of a turn. We're going to move from the piriformis into our glute medius and glute minimus. Good. Let's release that knee. Bring our shoulders back around and uncross our leg. Let's switch to the left leg now. Ankle over knee. Grab a hold of that shin. Posture up nice and tall. And pull your chest through. Again, we want that cross leg right in that hip joint. You may be doing everything 100% correct, and you may not feel this. Some people do have really tight piriformis, some don't. Don't think you need to pull harder or crunch into it. You just might have a nice healthy muscle somewhere in your body. Good, let's sit back on that. Turn to face the knee that's up. My right arm is gonna scoop under my left knee, and I'm gonna grab with my left hand, and I'm gonna pull that up into my chest, and I wanna sit back up tall. Depending how tight you are, you may not be able to pull it. You might be pulling, it's only here, and that's fine. I want you to get upright when you do this, though. Sit up as tall as you can, and we're gonna pull a little, and we're gonna turn a little. Excellent. Let's go ahead and release that knee. Uncross that leg. I want you to go wide, just outside the legs of your chair. Not too wide. Wide, and still keep those feet down. We're going to lean out onto our thighs. I'm going to take my left hand and put it right inside my left knee, right on my thigh. And I'm going to push my body away and push the leg away until I can get my arm nice and straight. So lock that sucker out. And then I'm going to sit forward, and I'm going to drop that shoulder down and through. It might help some of you when you drop that shoulder to kind of turn and look up towards the sky or the ceiling. Kind of helps you with that drop rotation if you're having trouble figuring it out. Good, we're gonna pick that shoulder back up. Allow that arm to relax in until we're back on that forearm. Now I'm gonna take my right hand inside. I'm gonna push my body away and then push the knee away until that arm's straight. Drop that right shoulder through. Twist and look up towards the ceiling. Good. Again, bring that back till we're centered. From here, I'm just going to bring my hands down towards the ground. And then I'm going to slide under my chair.
From here, put your hands on the ground right between your feet. You're going to push up, and then I want you to round your back and shoulders
And then we're going to roll ourselves all the way up. Good. From here, let's finish off with standing again. Let's finish off with a little breathing and a little bit more stretching. I'm going to bring my hands down, and I'm going to act like I'm scooping water up. And I want you to scoop, and I want you to scoop air, though. And breathe in really deep. And as you breathe, pick that chest up, hold it high in the air, hold the oxygen, open and expanding your ribs. And we're going to push it all the way out with an exhale. We're going to breathe in again with the rotation to our left. So I'm going to keep my right hand pointed at you, and I'm going to rotate while I breathe and open myself through my spine, holding my air, and let's exhale back to middle. Let's do the same thing on the right. Inhale. And exhale. And let's go up. Inhale. And lean into that breath, back into your stomach. We're going to exhale all the way down and scoop air again. Inhale up. Fill your rib cage and chest. Push it all out. It's open left. Exhale out. Let's open right. Exhale out. One more time, up and over. Lean, stretch that stomach, hold it for 3, 2, and exhale out. You can shake it all out. Again, happy Friday. I hope you feel really good after stretching, especially if you had a week of workouts. I hope you have a wonderful 4th of July. There will be Gentle Fitness tomorrow on the holiday at 11 o'clock. So check online to take that class. I'll see you guys all tomorrow, if not next week. Thanks for your time. Have a great day. You are very welcome. Ooh, I just got hit in the face with